To create your postcard, what you're going to do is open a window in Photoshop or photop.com that's 7 inches wide by 5 inches tall. If it's a little bit off than that, it's okay. You just want it to be a landscape orientation, so wider than it is tall, just like a real postcard would be. Even if you're drawing this instead, you're going to hold your piece of paper horizontally so that it's longer going sideways than it is tall way. The first thing you're going to do is type your place. So whatever state you're choosing, type it out and then drag it to the middle. You want to make your text as big as you can. So I'm going to free transform it by hitting Command or Control T and dragging the corner so it gets nice and big. Then I'm going to drag the other corner so again it's nice and big. Okay, once you have your state nice and big, you want to choose the font that you want to use. Now the one that I had selected actually works really well for this because it's nice and thick and bold, and that's going to make my pictures show really easily. But if you don't start with a good font, then I want you to go through your list and pick one. A really good example is Poplar, like mine, or Impact is another really good one. Either one you choose is fine. So now what you're going to do is type a little postcard saying, so greetings from, so that way it's like a real postcard. And for this one, you can have some fun and choose a different font that might be a little bit more whimsical. I'm gonna try this one, and I want to make it a little smaller. Okay, wherever you put it, side, center, wherever you want it is fine. I'm going to put it right here. Greetings from Connecticut. All right, so next you're going to do the clipping mask that we learned a little bit about. And what you're going to do is you should have your Google Doc open with all your reference images that you made. So the tough thing about using Google Docs is that copying and pasting an image from it doesn't work so well. So what I want you to do is download your image as a Microsoft Word document, and we're going to end up copying and pasting our images from there. If you would prefer, you can just copy and paste them from the internet again, wherever you found them, if that's something you'd rather do. So if you're using these as just reference images for drawing, you obviously don't need to do any of this because you're not copying and pasting them. You're just going to use them and draw them visually on the piece of paper. So you're just going to kind of look at it and draw what you see. If you're doing it on the computer, you need to copy and paste. So I am downloading it and opening it up. Here I have my document opened up, and I'm just going to right-click on the first one and copy it. Then I'm going to click on my program, either Photoshop or Photop, and I'm just going to hit Control or Command V, and it will paste right in the same window. What I'm going to do now, before I hit the check arrow, is I'm just going to drag it smaller because I only want this to fill in one letter. And I'm going to overlay it on the C until it's as tall, and it's just a little bit taller, so that was pretty good. So now I'm going to hit Return or Enter or hit the checkbox up here. So now that I've got my image overlaid, I'm going to create a clipping mask. But what I want to make sure is that Connecticut is the word that is on top because that's the one that I want it to link to. So I just slid greetings from underneath. So now I'm going to right click on the image and say create a clipping mask, and you'll see that it fills in the space. What I don't want is that this image to fill more than one word. So what I'm going to do is take my eraser tool and I'm going to erase the parts of the image I don't want. Now this is a smart object, as it says, and it wants to rasterize. So I'm just going to hit OK, and then it will let me now erase the image, and I don't have to worry about the text at all. I just can freely erase the image. And I'm going to repeat this process to complete the postcard. I'm going to go back to my Word doc, copy, into Photopea or Photoshop, and paste. Drag the image smaller so it's just about the same height as your words. Hit enter, right click, create clipping mask. Now this one fills a lot of words. If you have a picture that's really pretty and you don't want to erase a lot of it, then what you can do is have it fill 2 letters, but that is as many as you're allowed. It can only fill 2 letters. So I erased everything that was overlapping the C, N, and E. And now it's just filling O and N. And I'm going to go back to Word, get my next image, copy, paste, resize it so it's just about as tall as the words, hit enter. I'm going to drag it over to hit my N, right click on the layer panel, create clipping mask. Now it will fill in, but I can still move it. I've got my move arrow, and I'm going to drag the boat over so it's in the N, and then I'm going to erase the parts of the image that are overlapping the other image and the other letters that I don't want. Once all your letters are filled in, you're going to add some detail to the background. So here is my background image. I'm going to pick a color that I think works well. You can always pick a color from an image, and I'm going to fill it. And then what I want to do is add a little bit of detail. So I'm going to add a new layer, maybe pick a slightly darker green, and add maybe some stripes or something. So I'm just going to make my paintbrush bigger, and if I press and hold the shift button, then I will force it to go in a straight line up and down. And I can just kind of go up and down to create some stripes. Once you're done, you're going to go to File, Save As, last name, first initial, postcard. Change the format so that it's a JPEG, and then hit Save. I already have a postcard, so I'm going to make it postcard 2. Save. If you are in Photopea, you need to go to File, Export As, a PNG or a JPEG. It really doesn't matter which one. But in Photoshop, you're going to save or save as. In Photopea, to save it as a PNG or JPEG, you need to go to Export. If you save as a PSD, that saves it as Photoshop document and preserves the layers. But it makes it harder for me to see. So export as a PNG, and then hit save. It will go into your downloads folder, and that is where you will upload it to the Google Classroom.